Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 29th of May. And from the low here, we're counting up an impulse wave of 1 and 2, and then 5 waves up here for wave 3 of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And from 4 here, we've got 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're at a medium level here, 6,500. That's a medium level's halfway between 5,000 and 8,000, and it always plays a strong part, and you can see it in stocks as $6.50 or $16.50, and yeah, so in terms of that, we see resistance at, or a corrective pattern at the 6,500, and also in Elliott terms we're looking for wave 4 here that can pull back to the 38.2% retracement level of wave 3 here. So looking at that here, that brings us into here, and also the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree as well, the blue one here. So this is our target sort of area down here for a move down. It doesn't have to move down that far, but that's our starting point. What we do is we watch the structure as it unfolds and work with that. So 6,200 would be the first support, but we also need to get, well, that's not quite true. I've just missed out the top of group 1 here, 6,300. That's going to be significant. So 6,000 here, we've got 100, 200 and 300. They make up group 1. The other thing too is that wave 4s can get complicated. Now I've just got it as a simple ABC here, but it could be a triangle. It could be, these are other wave 4s here, so it may have that sort of fingerprint coming in here as well. Just it's very difficult to navigate, so just be mindful of that. So just the 4-hour chart here, we can see that we've got a clean break through these lows here now. So any short trade that's going to be in here, we'll need to keep above here. Yes, there's going to, the supports are 6.4 is going to be, the old top here is going to be important. The gap here is going to be important. You can always look at just looking at the low here to this point here, and all these numbers will play out here, the 23, which it has, the 38.2% here, the 50%. So all these will play a part too in this move down. All we can do is take it step by step. So let me just remove these. So before we counted this down here as the leg 1, and we're looking for a corrective pattern, so just moving to the hourly chart now. So we need to treat this here as wave A here, and wave B here didn't quite retest this. I thought it would have done because we're looking for 5 waves from this little A, B and C wave up here. So maybe I've got to bring the B wave right to this point here. There's 5 in this one here, but I was thinking that would have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here coming back to this point, and 5 up to here, but I was wrong in that case. But we're still on track in the main event here. So what we can look at here is that I've labeled this as an A and a B and a C correction here, and this C wave here will have 5 waves in of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It still needs to complete, so we can expect the market down to 6.4. It will be a bumpy ride coming into 3, 2 and 1 here. Of course, stocks will open, and they'll open lower and help drag that through those that little subgroup 1 level there. But we also need to be mindful that this can be wave 2 here. I don't like the idea of having it as wave 2 because it's actually quite big here compared to this move here. So it's more likely to be corrective. So we've got to be a little bit careful here. We've got to sort of think, well, we may just get an A wave here, a B wave here and a C wave here, and then move up here. So we need to be mindful of that. So if you're trading short here, we need to keep an eye on this structure. These five, I mean, as soon as we get 5 waves here, we're going to have some sort of correction anyway. I just need, if it's going to be, I mean, wave A and wave C here in a correction should have some equality about them, the same length. If it's going to be wave 2 here and this is going to be wave 3, well, then we're going to see wave 3 here be 60% longer than wave, this is being wave 1 here. So the main point here, if we've got a stop loss thing here, just grab this one, we really need to keep it just out of the way here for the time being. It's also possible that this is wave 1 here as well. I'll leave it there for the time being. But the important thing here is really to track this down here, so we can look at this here as wave. We'll look at this on the tick chart too in a moment, but wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3, 4, but because we're expecting it to come down lower, we would need to sort of consider this move coming much lower here as well, because going back to the daily chart, which we can have a look at in a moment, but I'll just go to the tick chart. We'll just have a look at this in closer view here. So from wave B or wave 2 here, that's going to have to come across to, I mean, this is why I thought we'd have one more wave here, because we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, 5. So I thought we'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but it's not the case. So we have to put this here. Not that it's a big deal, but so the main point here is that we can see we've got a move down here in 5 waves. We've got a corrective wave for wave 2. I'm looking at all of this as wave 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for 1 and back for 2 here. All of this, the third wave here, we'll see a 4th wave bounce of 38.2%, and then we'll see wave 5 come down. Will it reach the 6-4? Not quite sure, but then this wave 4 will come into play here. And then we'll see wave 5 come down here a little bit lower. So I'll put wave C here, but this whole wave C here too, if I put this here, it's probably not right, but we would look at this as an ABC for the A wave here. But this is one of the things that we've got to work out. The A wave can be down in 3 waves or 5 waves. So in a corrective move. So we just really need to see what type of correction that we're going to get with this wave 4. But just coming back to the daily chart for a moment, just to get a bit of an idea here. So this is the sort of level that possibly we could be looking at here, 6,100. So we're quite a way away from all of this at the moment. And I can't confirm this either. I mean, we have to go step by step. So what I mean by that is that if I go to the 4-hour chart first, because I got 5 waves here, that means after the correction and retest of 6.5 here, I can get another 5 waves, okay? So that's cool. So we need to get 5 waves in here, and that's as far as I can, confirm at that stage. But if we get wave 4 here, like this, an ABC for wave 4, and then get wave 5 down here, well, then that gives us 5 waves down at that point. So then I can say with confidence that we're going to get an ABC pattern and then another 5 waves down. But I can't call this 5 waves down unless I get these 5 waves down here. So that's why it's just step by step. And also wave 4s are tricky, they can get triangles, double zigzags, all sorts of things, all quite complicated to understand. But at this stage, if you're short, just leave the stop where I've mentioned, and we'll be able to capture most of this here. So yeah, the next step really in the puzzle is to see if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. That's what we need. And still, that can just be the A wave here. That can be the B wave here. And then we can look at the C wave being down at the 6.1 area down through here. So it could play out like that. I just don't know. So let's see. Our job is to see if we get, after this 5 waves, if we can work out that this is corrective in here, this wave 4 here, then we'll know that we're going to get this structure here. But also need to be mindful too, because when we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, this B wave here can pull back up 50 or 60%. So if you're getting in late here, then you know that's going to be tested. So then you would think after these 5 waves here at this point down here, you would need to exit at this particular stage, and we'll look for another entry to get back in this side here. That's it for that. Let's have a look at China, Hong Kong and India. So with China here, just on the hourly chart here, we'd been looking from wave 3 here as an A and a B and a C and a D here and then E for wave 4 here. So I'm looking at this here as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for wave 1. And back for wave 2 here as an A and a B and a C here. So this can start to move down from this to have 3, 4 and 5 here. If I get another move across the top here, then I've got this wrong. But I'm still not going to go long unless we've got support on 13,000, the major level. Going long in front here would need a really good understanding and confidence in having a low in place here for all of this, and I don't have that just yet. So we just need to wait here for this. So if that's going to move down, then we'll be in line with Hong Kong here, and just need to make a few adjustments here. We don't need this anymore. We're looking for a little wave 4 here before, so that can be in there now, and don't need that segment. So we're looking for wave 5 here. I mean, the thing here, oh no, that's all right, just thinking out loud. I mean, the length of wave 1, I'll just check this out here. So let's just do a little bit of homework on the hop. So that's the length of wave 1 here, just roughly. So if we move that over here to we can see that wave 3 here wave 3 is shorter than wave 1. So what that means is that wave 3 can't be the shortest, okay? So that means that wave 5 here is going to be the shortest. So if we take this, let's just get another little line in here. So wave 5 needs to be shorter than this little stick that I've got here. So how that will play out, I'm not quite sure. But at this stage, it looks like we've got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So that will come down here. Then there'll be a little corrective move back up here. So that could be wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3, 4, and 5 coming down here, but we need it to be shorter than this length here. So 26, 28 could be a reasonable target to assume here, and of course we've also got this big elephant in the room here, the 27,000. So we'll see how that sort of pans out at this stage. Right. So if you're going to go short here, we're still short from up here. We've been short here. We've taken part profit here. We've put our stop at break even here. We can bring that down to this point here now. And also too, if you're going to short from here now, then also keep the stop at that point there as well. But if you're already long, already short here, just make this a half position here, not a full position, because we don't have a lot to go on to here. And it might be shorter than this particular length that I have here as well. Okay, so India is next. So with India, we're looking from wave 4 here to wave 5 here, and we've got wave 1 and 2 is clear. Wave 3 was clear. I wasn't clear about all this here. It didn't really pan out very well, but in the end I looked at putting wave 4 here as an expanded flat, an A and a B and a C here, and then looking for 5 waves up here to 12,000. So also too, I've moved the stop today from down here to here, and I suppose we could short at the 12,000, but I think I'd rather wait just for the first impulse wave down here. So I've got the short trade under 11,800 here, because what I want to see here first is I want to see wherever this tops out here. What we need to see here is we need to see the first little 5 waves down here. Once we've got that, then we know that we're going to get a correction from this point, and we can just go across there, and then we can short from that point. But otherwise we'll just be fighting the trend, and that's just silly. So we need some evidence in play before we can, we could probably sell it at the 12. You could probably sell it at the 12 and be correct, but and that's I don't know what that is, but is it common sense? Is it bravery? Is it stupidity? I'm not quite sure. But for me, I excuse me, I need to see that impulse wave down. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.